So it's good to see you back out there. Can you just give us an idea of what it was that kept you out for, I think, about 4 or 5 games?
This time it was my ankle. There was just a heavy amount of inflammation in there. It wasn't too bad of an injury, it was just unlucky. So I got a cortisone shot in there and sorted it all out.
You say this time, and it's been a little bit frustrating for you, hasn't it? How have you dealt with these little niggly injuries that have sort of stymied your involvement this year?
Yeah, look, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't tough. It has been quite difficult these past 2 seasons, obviously struggling with smaller injuries, nothing too big, so keeping me out 4 or 5 games at a time. But in saying that, we've got such a good team that it's been really helpful. The staff obviously are very positive and refreshing, so it's good to have them here, and we're top of the table, so you can't really strop when you're winning, always smiling. So yeah, it's been tough, but the boys have definitely helped me out.
When you've got injuries like that, which is sort of a 4 or 5 week proposition, rather than an ACL, you're going to be out for 9 months, right? 4 or 5 weeks, how much temptation is there after 3 weeks to say, I'm okay, I want to get back out there?
Yeah, I've definitely learned that in the past 2 injuries, that you got to report it properly. Obviously last season had a few hamstring injuries, so I'd be eager and maybe a bit earlier than I should have said something, said I was ready. But this season I've definitely taken my time. And Corey, the physio, knows me well, and we work well together, and obviously this time I think come back at the right time, and there's no problems in there anymore.
It seems like good timing as well. I mean, what are we, 6, 7 games left in the regular season, then a finals push as well. Touch wood, you'll be there for the run, and is it, I don't know if you want to say, has it been worth it not being there, but is it a good time to be coming back and hopefully, fully fit and firing?
Yeah, you could argue this is the most important time of the season. Look, I could have a good end to the season and forget about the injuries I've had. So honestly, my head's still strong and still focusing on that. So that's the goal, obviously. Do anything I can to get the team winning games and hopefully pushing for that top spot by the end of the season.
You were part of the quadruple change the other day as well. What were the instructions you were given, specifically coming on at left back from Chiefy and the others?
Well, there was 4 of us coming on, so I don't think he could have given us too many instructions. It was just go on and do your job. We knew what we had to do. Obviously, the scoreline was 1-1 when we came on, so they wanted to inject some energy into the game, and I think all 4 of us did that. Obviously, we had Conchi in there to lock up the midfield. We had 2 forwards coming on to score goals and get assists like they did, and me a bit different to come on and deal with their attacking threats, which they have a lot of. Adelaide did anyway.
Yeah, and more so because after Phoenix went 2-1 up, Nestori Irankunda arrives, and he's obviously a very, very dangerous attacking player. How do you relish a battle like that, if relish is the right word?
I look forward to battles like that. Obviously, I know he's a great player, very young, very good talent, so it's win-win for me. It's going to Bayern Munich. If you do well, you're locking up a Bayern Munich player, and if you don't, it's a Bayern Munich player. So win-win.
Yeah, but he also, there was a little off-the-ball incident. Can he kind of come over and gave you a bit of a shove? What happened there?
It's just a bit of, I was playing the game really. Get in front of the ball, and I know he was going to, and later into the game when they're pushing for it, maybe get a bit agitated. So anything you can do to help the boys kind of get under the skin of whoever you're playing against, and everyone does it. I really enjoy those parts of the game as well. So
you must be enjoying where the team is at the moment. 40 points, top of the league. Most Phoenix fans always look back and think, we're at 7th, are we okay to make the top 6? That seems like it's almost mathematically impossible to fall out now. What are the goals and the ambitions of this team? Have they changed a lot in the last little while?
Yeah, like you said, in the past 4 or 5 seasons I've been here, we've been doing the math of how many points we need to get into that top 6, so it's a completely different ball game. Obviously, we're at the top right now. It would be easy to get ahead of ourselves, but I think this group wouldn't do that. I think we're staying grounded, and we know we've not done anything yet, so we've just got to keep going and focus game by game. Cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason, and that's how we're going to take it.
And one of your flatmates has been old. He's getting a lot of attention at the moment, and rightly so. I think he's playing brilliantly. Have you seen any change in Ben Old? You haven't had to make the door frames any bigger to get his head in or anything like that? He's been okay with all this extra attention?
Yeah, to be fair, he's a humble lad. Works very hard. I don't think any amount of attention would grow his head. But you know, he deserves it all. He works really hard, and he's one of the most focused in the team. Off the field, you know, does all he can to make sure he's putting his best foot forward, and I'm just happy for him that he's, you know, it's coming to his game now, and everyone can see the potential that he's got, because I think he can only grow from here.